YouTube, what up? Welcome back to another Pounds 978 custom video. And today I want to talk about Doppelgänger and the 6-arm Spider-Man. Those who are familiar with my channel probably already know I'm not too excited about these figures. I mean, I am excited because these were very anticipated figures coming from Hasbro, but just the overall execution on them were not as great as I expected, or not up to par to what Hasbro standards are. And that's just the issue I had with them. I do love these figures. I'm just in a love-hate relationship with them. But just from looking at them in the box, they do look amazing. So they are attractive if you are in a store and you see them hanging on the shelf. It makes me want to buy them every time I see them. As much as I know I don't like these figures. And I hate to say that because it's not that I don't like them. I like these figures. There's just a few things that I don't like about them. Side artwork, dope. Definitely attractive. Love the side artwork on Doppelgänger. Back artwork. One, we have the figure, and the other is just artwork. By the way, they're two different waves. One's Kingpin, the other one's Molten Man. Figured I'd review them at the same time because I did find another 6-arm. And these are the figures you'll need to complete. And these are the other figures if you want to get Kingpin. You guys know how this goes by now, right?
An evil, mindless duplicate of Spider-Man infused with supernatural energy by the Demo Goblin. The 6-armed Doppelganger has deadly claws and can shoot razor-sharp webbing.
Hoping to cure his spider powers, Peter Parker drinks a special mixture and wakes up with 4 extra arms. Here's the insert cardboard from the package. Both different, both really cool. What's even cooler is now with these packages, you can separate the paper from the plastic and you can recycle them really easy. Voila. Doppelgänger and 6-armed Spider-Man, both using the same exact body, but they do have some unique parts. Doppelgänger, especially, he has unique hands, head, and feet. Spider-Man has unique arms. And so it's enough to make them feel like different figures. By the way, Doppelgänger does come with this Molten Man arm, the smaller one from the two. But what is it about these figures that bother me? And what is it about these figures that don't bother you? All right, for me, my disappointment stems from the lack of an ab crunch and waist swivel. I think that's pretty much it. The no webs, no big deal. I could do that. Even if I didn't want to do that, I'm happy with them without webs. They look pretty cool, even though you could put webs on them. But that's another story. The no ab crunch is just unacceptable. Or the waist swivel is just very, very unacceptable for Hasbro in their 6-inch Marvel Legends for 2019. There's no excuse, guys. I'm sorry. I know that we're all happy to have these figures. Of course, I'm happy to have these figures. I know you guys are just as excited. But should we make excuses for the company in releasing these type of figures? I mean, are we really satisfied? I know most of the demographic is children, so a lot of you guys don't really know. But think about it. From the figures you've been receiving lately and all the upgrades we've gotten, this seems like 3 steps backwards. Again, I'm very grateful to have this because I've been waiting for a 6-arm, a Doppelgänger, and even a Man Spider. But now after seeing this, I don't even want to know what Man Spider is going to look like. I mean, let's be real for a second. Look at this Doppelgänger on the package and look at what we got in action figure form. That's ugly. Something about those eyes and those teeth just don't sit right with me. For me, it says, let's just make another dollar really quick. This is a cheap body. Let's get the best out of it. And I get that. I really do. From a business side of view, I understand. We got this body already on deck. Let's get the best out of it. But wow, guys, this is a big miss. No paint, no webs. For me, again, the webbing is not a big deal, but you could have at least added the web if you're going to not give us an ab crunch or a waist swivel, and then make excuses and say things like, oh, we couldn't have done it because this is a new mold and it would have deteriorated. And I get that from Shartimus Prime's video. I saw him say that when he spoke to someone from Hasbro who kind of runs the Spider-Man. But I don't believe that excuse, honestly. I think that's an excuse. Here is his feet. His feet are probably the best thing going for him, and his hands. But the feet look so fat and chunky, it just looks out of place. And also another thing, the webbing on his feet compared to the webbing on his ankles and his calves are actually inverted. You see his calves like they go in, and then on his feet they're embossed. The webs are out. Same with his head. The webs are out, and then every other part of his body, the webs are pushed in. Very, very silly. Very silly for them to do that. I don't know what was I don't know what's going on. You guys know that this comes from the Amazing Spider-Man from the movie, so beats me as to why they decided to use this in the first place. But even the first time they used it, they made it look better than the second and third time. So that's kind of weird. Usually you get better with time, but it seems like it gotten worse. They just added arms to kind of compensate for the lack of painting or paint wash or black wash. But you see that they can paint the webs if they really wanted to. But again, I'm not gonna complain about the webs. I don't care about that. I care about the waist swivel and the ab crunch, because these figures are supposed to be better than these older figures. And when I line them up together, I feel like they're just the same exact figure all over again. Just one looks a little better. And I'll give Hasbro the credit. Theirs does look a lot better than this older one here. But still, it's not fun to play with. This is supposed to be a 6-arm figure who crawls up walls and does dynamic poses and hunches over. And this is supposed to be a great figure. And I'm just here to tell you they really missed the mark on both of these figures. And if I'm hating, whatever. You guys don't like it? Whatever. It's my opinion. I love the figures. I just don't love the lack of articulation. And I'm not going to take the excuse that the bodies would deteriorate. But maybe they would, because my foot is already deteriorating just from inserting one peg. The peg is in there, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's a big hole in my foot. The plastic is chipping inside. There's a mess going on in there. It's not big of a deal. I can swap it out. I have another 6-arm Spider-Man, so I may be able to swap it, but it is cut. It is kind of almost at its breaking point. Well, YouTube, just to be completely honest, yes, I still do recommend these two figures. There are no other figures on shelves that are like these, so I would recommend you guys pick them up. They would still look good posed on your shelf. Just don't expect too much posability. I love them more than I hate them. I had to pick them up, but I'm just disappointed that they're not as fun as I expected them to be. But guys, as usual, if you like this video and you want to see more Spider-Man customs and reviews, feel free to give a guy a thumbs up. Comment down below your thoughts on these if you own them, and subscribe if you want to see more content.
If you choose to subscribe, you the man. Yes, you. Everyone below in the comments, yes, you too. Thank you very much for showing me love. Who knew? It's ironic how we think out the box for you too, right?
Sing, 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 sing. Everybody.